Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Football Overseas channel and welcome to another round of EFL Championship Predictions. It's the third full programme in a week, so a lot of football has been played or will have been played in that time. For some, a lot of travelling because there's been some teams have had 2 away fixtures on the bounce, which is always a tough ask. And there's not been much shift in the league table since last time because we had the midweek programme, but we had 7 draws. So 14 teams picked up the 1 point. So it means there's not been much shuffling around of league positions. 5 losses, 5 wins, obviously make up the whole programme. But over the course of the 2 nights, it was some very tight games. However, out of all of that, Sunderland are still top, proudly, by 3 points from Burnley. Sunderland managed to squeeze a win at Luton. A hard-earned win, I have to say. And at the bottom, we still have now have Portsmouth at rock bottom as they failed to follow up their Queen's Park Rangers victory on Saturday. They went down to Cardiff and very tamely lost by 2-0. 2 down within the first 15 minutes. Cardiff just ran the game out really, and Portsmouth fortunately didn't lay a glove on them. So Portsmouth have got it all to do again to just chance to revitalise themselves and start to prove to everybody that they are capable of playing in the Championship. They haven't really done that yet. They have had some good results on paper against some of those early fixtures, but they still need to really put their mark on this season in that respect. So there we are. We have a full programme across Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And we start off on Friday night, interestingly, with Portsmouth home to Sheffield Wednesday. So as I say, Portsmouth fans will park up what's happened in the last couple of days and they will go down to Fratton Park on Friday night with their usual enthusiasm and noise and passion and be ready to meet their northern opponents from Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday are made of sterner stuff this season, it seems. They're standing up pretty well, although they'll be slightly disappointed they couldn't convert their match on Tuesday when they drew at home to Swansea. So it's, I think they'll, even though it'll be a raucous affair as it is under lights down at Fratton Park, I think Sheffield Wednesday will hold firm and stand up to the test, and they will I think they'll take the match, just edge it by 2-1. So I'm going to take Portsmouth to still be looking over their shoulders, unfortunately, in the bottom area. So it's Portsmouth 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Then we have the Saturday lunchtime, three games as usual. Starting off with what should be a pretty good game, I think. Bristol City at home to Leeds United. There'll be a big crowd at Ashton Gate on Saturday lunchtime. Bristol City unbeaten in 6. However, my Achilles heel is that they've had 4 draws, and you know what my opinion is on a run of draws. They don't really do you much good, other than keep a nice little run going, I suppose. But they really need to get some more wins on the board if they're going to make an impression at the top. Leeds, of course, going nicely, won their last couple now, only lost the 1 match, and that was home to Burnley, so that's no disgrace, is it? So they're settling in back, even after the huge disappointment of the playoff final. They've now sort of got rid of those cobwebs and they're playing pretty well. I think it'll be an entertaining draw, though. I know I said about draws, but I think this one would be a good notch for Bristol City if they can hold Leeds and add to their unbeaten run, to take their unbeaten run to 7. So I'm going to take an entertaining one. Bristol City 2, Leeds United 2. Second up, Saturday lunchtime, we have Coventry against Luton. Luton, as I say, very unfortunate to lose to Sunderland, I thought, in the week. They had a perfectly good goal disallowed, and then Sunderland went ahead. Luton did equalise, but then Sunderland got the winner again. So Sunderland, just as I said a couple of previews ago, they're standing up to everything's being thrown at them just about at the moment. Scoring goals nicely. They've 3 wins at the last 4. As I say, if they did have a bit of good fortune in the week, then fair play. Every team gets that as we go through the campaign. So Coventry have slipped into the bottom 3, so that's a bit of a concern for all their fans and the manager there, who is under a bit of pressure. The fans are a bit restless. There was a bit of unrest last week when they lost. away at Preston. So they're home to Luton. I think Luton will, if they can repeat their last couple of performances, they'll go there and get the points. So I'm going to take Luton to win this one. Coventry 0, Luton 2. And finally, Saturday lunchtime, we have Watford against Blackburn. Blackburn dropped to their first home points in the week with a 0-0 draw against West Brom. They'll probably be, even though it was West Brom, they'll probably be slightly disappointed with that because West Brom had a little bit of a blip. No win in 5. They've had 3 draws on the trot now as well. So yes, going down to Blackburn going down to Watford. Watford narrowly lost to Leeds, so but they are struggling a little bit now. Just the 1 win in 4, 3 losses around that. But so I think they'll play out a draw with Blackburn. I think they'll hold Blackburn, although Blackburn are doing pretty well in the top, as we know. I'm going to take it's going to be Watford 1, Blackburn 1. Then we go to the 3 o'clocks on Saturday afternoon. And we start off with Burnley against Queen's Park Rangers. Queen's Park Rangers will be disappointed that they only put 1 point out of a double header, if you like, at home over the last couple of games against Portsmouth and who was it they played? Coventry. Sorry, yes, Coventry 1-1 midweek. So they could pick up a point, but they'll be disappointed not to have picked up all 3 with Coventry's fragile form at the moment. And Burnley drew 1-1 with Hull, so that they'll be slightly disappointed with that, I guess. Especially after coming back from going behind, you'd thought they might have gone on to win the game. They didn't. So I'm going to take Burnley to put QPR away, I think, on Saturday, quite comfortably. So I'm going to take Burnley to take QPR by 3-1. Then we go on to Derby against Hull. Hull, as I say, had that draw with Burnley. Derby had played out a 1-1 draw with Oxford, 2 sides that came up together last year. Derby's home form has been pretty good, and they're still holding their own in the top of the table. Only 1 win in 6 now, though, so they'll want to put that right. And I think Hull does give them a chance to. If they get their scoring boots on, I think they will just edge this one. Hull, you don't know what you're going to get with Hull at the moment, but we shall see. I'm going to take Derby to edge it. Derby County 2, Hull City 1. Then we have the 2Ps, Plymouth and Preston. Plymouth now they had a disappointing couple of games, a terrible 5-0 against Cardiff, and they. In a rather drab game, so I was reading, against Millwall, they lost 1-0, so their travelling fans went away disappointed once again. Plymouth's I think they've only got 1 point on the road, so that being that, they're only 1 place above the relegation spot, so they do need to back up these excellent wins they've had at home against the side now that is in the sort of bottom half, so they need to get that home park, their fans revved up again for another good big home performance. I don't think there'll be much in this one, but I'm going to take Plymouth's form at home, and the fact that I want to repay the fans back for those 2 poor away games, or try to anyway. So I'm going to go for Plymouth Argyle 1, Preston North End 0 on Saturday afternoon. Brings us to Sheffield United against Stoke. And Sheffield United had their 2nd loss on the trot, losing to Middlesbrough by 1-0. Middlesbrough recovering from their home loss against Bristol City at the weekend to put in a good performance and a very good result indeed. So Sheffield United take on Stoke, who again threw away a 2-goal lead against Bristol City. Bristol City came back very well in that match and may well be disappointed they didn't go on to win, even despite the fact they were 2-0 down. Stoke completely lost their way in the match. And that's been a feature of their football at times this season. So they're going to Sheffield United, who will want to get back on winning ways and keep in touch with the sides at the top, especially Sunderland, who have now got a 6-point advantage over Sheffield United, so they won't want that to get too much bigger. So I'm going to take Sheffield United to regain their pomp and take the match by 2-0. Sheffield United 2, Stoke 0. Brings us to the table toppers. Sunderland, who are really, as I say, standing up to just about everything that anyone else can throw at them at the moment. Won their last 2 games. Yes, they may have been fortunate at Luton, but they still stood up to that task and got the job done. They can't do much about the officials, at the end of the day. So they will be home to Oxford. As I say, Oxford's home form has been pretty good. Oxford's general form has been pretty good. They're 3 wins, 5 draws, 3 losses. A very nice introduction to the Championship, but no win in 6 and 5 draws. 5 draws equals 10 points dropped. So, yes, it's okay, but they need to start to get a win on the board again soon just to keep things ticking over. I think this is a step too far. It's a free hit for Oxford, I think. Just go there and just go for it and see where you land. I think Sunderland will run out quite comfortable winners. I'm taking them to take the match by 3-1. Sunderland 3, Oxford 1. 3 to go, 2 more on Saturday, that is, and it's Swansea against Millwall. Millwall, as I say, ground out a 1-0 win against Plymouth midweek, so they'll be happy with that. Again, then a clean sheet, and then that's really been the feature of their sort of mini revival, if I want to call it that, as they climb the table. They're now in 13th spot with 13 points, unbeaten in 3. But I think Swansea will just edge them. Swansea, again, one of those teams you don't quite know how they're going to go. But I think at home, they might just have enough to edge past Millwall. So I'm going to go Swansea City 1, Millwall 0. West Bromwich Albion against Cardiff ends the Saturday programme. Yes, so West Bromwich Albion against Cardiff ends the Saturday programme. As I say, Cardiff have had 2 excellent home wins, 7 goals scored, none against, so they're flying at the moment as they travel to Birmingham, or the West Midlands anyway. And West Bromwich Albion will be wanting to get rid of this little blip they're in. They're still holding on to 4th place, but they haven't won in 5, and they've had 3 draws and 2 losses, as I said earlier. But I think they will edge Cardiff out in this. They've got to start clicking again soon. Why not this weekend? So I'm going to take West Bromwich Albion to edge Cardiff out by 2-1. Then we go into Sunday, the final match of this busy week. And certainly there's a full programme again this weekend, as I say. And it's a pretty good one to finish on too. It's Norwich City against Middlesbrough. It should be a good game. There's 2 sides that really like to play their football, given the chance. Norwich do 2-2 at Preston. Probably a bit disappointed with that, given their recent little revival. But again, they're scoring goals quite freely again at the moment. 19 goals scored is up there with the top numbers in the division. So they're finding their feet in front of goal. Still a little bit shaky in defence, possibly. And Middlesbrough, as I say, a bit up and down all the way through the season. Lost at home to Bristol City, then they go and beat Sheffield United. So again, you can't put any money on Middlesbrough. You just don't know what is going to come out of their performance. And I think this will be a good game, as I say, to end the weekend on. But I'm going to take Norwich to take with home advantage behind them. And the fact they're scoring goals nicely at the moment, I think they will just edge the match by 2-1. So a home win for Norwich. Norwich City 2, Middlesbrough 1. So there we have it. As I say, not much change in the league positions really since we last spoke with all those draws. We'll see how things pan out over the weekend coming up. It's another exciting weekend, I am sure. Some good matches listed, good matches for us to take in. So please enjoy your footballing weekends, your sporting weekends. Stay safe, stay healthy, and don't forget to press the like button, engage with the like button, subscribe, and tell your friends and family all about the Football Overseas channel. That's it from me for now. I will be back to review and preview once again next week. Take care. Thank you for watching.